Welcome to the show. I'm astrologer Val Evans, and we're talking about Gisele Bundchen and the bomb she just dropped within the last 24 hours. And people are just trying to figure out what the hell, what is going on. This woman is just throwing a torch and moving on with her life. And many of us wish we could be as decisive. There's so many different perspectives on this. So I thought I'd look at her chart, see what's going on. There was an article that just came out today. Somebody please check on Tom Brady. You can't imagine that the person that you think you're going to spend the rest of your life with, who just seems like the perfect person, there would be situations where the feelings would change to such an extreme degree. Exactly what happened to Tom Brady and Gisele. Obviously, one or more of the parties was terribly, terribly unhappy. We looked a little bit at that yesterday, and I mentioned Black Moon Lilith, which is definitely in play here. Angel, you said, it's interesting to me that she made a public announcement. Most celebrities aren't even announcing the birth of their child these days. Yeah, that's a good point. So now that I think of that, there's so many ways to express revenge. Sometimes we don't even know that we're doing it. Like the other day, I just happened to look at an old apartment building that I used to live in. It was really nice, actually. There were a lot of complaints about mold. I mean, it was not built properly. You'd never know. And I was going to go on and tell my experience. And I thought to myself, what I am doing is anytime I think that you want to comment or make a poor or bad review, you are activating Pluto or the Scorpio energy. So I stop myself, even though the other side of my head, it's like maybe I'm helping someone who will see this and beware of this place. But, we do this in our lives every day. The celebrities sometimes, however, they do it in grand scale, like an announcement to the press. Shauna, I need to get caught up with the whole Gisele, Tom Brady stuff. What is going on here? LOL. Ooh, that's good advice. Wow, activating Pluto, I know. It's hard because when people are activating Pluto, it helps you make better decisions sometimes. In my case, sometimes people are going to look at that and say, whoa, this is going to help me. I'm not going to go and live at that place because it might be unhealthy for me. So it just depends on what side you're looking at. Here is my thumbnail for last night's show. So definitely check that out. I talked a little bit about the devil's beard, and I didn't really get into specifics as to why I mentioned it last night. And I was hoping that you'd kind of get an idea that there is a person in the story that has that black hair, has grown the devil's beard. And I just couldn't help but notice it. But, you can't name names. But here's a couple of examples of people coupling with women, coupling with men. And let's face it, it's not always the men who are devils. But in this case, this is a great way to show, or when somebody is getting that Black Moon Lilith or the algol energy. Usually the man, it will be the beard. Now, I'm not sure what it is with the woman yet. I've got to do more studying. But I know for a fact, now this one I just added because this came out this morning. They broke up, Channing Tatum and Zoe Kravitz. And look at the beard. And then I just pulled this from Johnny Depp, but I also Googled Chris Watts. I didn't want to put a murderer in with these for fear of retribution, but if you Google Chris Watts, you'll see his beard. Just devilish behavior. This is Chris Pratt. I get all the Chris's mixed up with Anna Faris and seemed like a happy couple, but he didn't leave her, I don't think, for another woman, but I think there could have been another woman involved at that time. And I think she found out. Johnny Depp always has a beard, though. He's always a pirate. Yeah, seriously, Jody, the women get a beard too. Hey, Dinah. Yeah, maybe the woman gets some Medusa trait. I was thinking that. I think there was a devilish quality actually with J-Lo when, keeping in mind, Jen Garner, when she married Ben Affleck, they married at the beach. It was very simple. And then here, J-Lo gets her dream wedding. I think they had two weddings, and it's all this flaunting and, you got to wonder how Jen Garner, even though she obviously has moved on, how she felt. It was just sort of like this, I don't care what anybody else thinks. This is my wedding. I'm going to do what I want. So maybe it is lots and lots of hair, the Medusa hair. Yeah, they get wild hair. Dinah. Well, you know what? We warned you. Dinah says, I can't help myself. I love beards. I don't get it. I really don't. I guess it just depends. But that happened to me, though. It happened twice. Um, I won't say who, but two major people in my life. Suddenly they grew those beards, but they were kind of like, they were the shaped beards, and it was like, what's going on here? So that was kind of like, I mean, they can't all be devils, right? I'm afraid I'm scaring somebody right now. So on to the chart. This is wild, you guys. Are you ready for this? Here is Gisele's progress chart right now. Okay. Take a look at it. Look at what's up at the top. That, my friends, is a stinging Scorpio. Uranus is the sting, and Scorpio is the scorpion. And it is in a square. It is in a big square right now. A literal square. There's Uranus at 22 degrees, which is a danger degree. Here's what I think can happen when you have something like this in your chart. There are things that can make you go absolutely out of your mind, feeling betrayed, wanting revenge. And it wouldn't seem like it because she seems very hippie, she has her therapist and she goes to yoga. She's doing her best. It looks like she's really trying to get through to this next chapter or start this next chapter. But this is an energy that you cannot escape. And it might be something, as an example, something in her career. And the career is the MC. Suddenly she's hearing that she gets turned down because other women are coming in to replace her. There's just that feeling of, ugh, like everybody else is able to get something and I'm not. Hard to believe because this is Gisele. She has plenty of opportunities. But there is some type of jealousy involved. Maybe it's not jealousy, maybe it's just pure betrayal. Very difficult. And look at the nodes. The nodes are what are going to show you what's flowing and what's not flowing. And when you have this Uranus in a square, and Uranus is her chart ruler, so this is her up here. This is stuck in this energy. It is very, very hard to get out of this energy. Wow. So that is Gisele right now. She is there. Now, not only is she having to endure this scorpionic energy, in order to get rid of it, the purge, or it's feeling better when you're able to do something scorpionic. So as an example, an announcement saying you're pregnant. And what does Scorpio mean? Pregnancy. And what does Uranus mean? It means shock pregnancy. Hope you can see that up there. Get some orange clouds from my haunted, can't even see her. But here's some good news. You see a blue line there. The blue line is going to help. It's going to help take the pressure off. But what is it? Well, Mercury is a little baby. So this will be the baby, a shock baby, a surprise baby. Probably will have blonde hair because of the sun right next to Mercury. Although, actually scratch that. Because of Scorpio usually means black hair. So maybe black hair. I think she's going to have a girl. Are her children not adorable? Her oldest child is a twin. She's got her bonus child and her son. And then I think we've got the daughter. I mean, this is right where the daughter is, right in Regulus. So this girl is special. Blonde hair or light hair. She's a princess, there's something about her that is going to be very special and a very bright lady when she gets older. Now we want to look at the third child, which is in Libra. And Libra is ruled by Venus, which is a feminine trait here. So Venus is here. Looks like it could be a little girl. They might get a little sister. So kind of mixed feelings with the kids, maybe, they're not sure exactly what's happening, but they're excited about a new addition to the family, but still very difficult. And what is up with this? This is Chiron. So this is a person who is very, very, I mean, I think this affected Gisele, her divorce, more than most people realized. Feeling feeling a lot of wounds, not necessarily directly because of Tom, but because of maybe what she felt she lost, what she gave up. It was too much for her in her mind. You have to be careful with Uranus and in opposition with Chiron. This is unexpected wounds. Here's Mercury, the little baby, and sextiling Uranus, so shock baby. And what does that do? Well, that helps her heal. This is a trine down to the wounded warrior, Chiron. And so by having this child, she's able to take herself out of this scorpionic energy. So you're really seeing that this is going to help her mentally, I think. It doesn't help anybody else, but it certainly helps her. Now, here's the thing. We've got Saturn square the moon. And this is the fifth house. Well, you know what? The moon represents her work. So it kind of means Saturn and moon means to stop. So this means everything with her. I mean, she might still model, but everything kind of slows to a halt. There's also family sadness, I think, too, because it's kind of hitting the fifth house of family. So they're not really sure what's going on. It would seem. This is Gisele's 2024 solar return chart. And my God, like if you want to look at a solar return that shows timing, this is it. We start off with her birthday. So this would be July 20th to August 20th. So July, August, September, October. So the fourth house is October right there. And what is it being ruled by? Pluto. And at the 22nd degree. So we've got betrayal thoughts, we've got jealousy thoughts, we've got a lot of complicated emotions. It almost makes me wonder if she wanted to have another child, and I can't imagine Tom telling her no, but this would be one of those types of scenarios where it's like, I got the child that I wanted anyway, that kind of thing. But there's Pluto. And so what we're going to do next is we're going to look and see what's up with Pluto in this T square with Chiron. And so this month would basically dish out a big wound. The ninth house is marriage. So I think this could be her former marriage where it's just really like the marriage is dead, okay? But we're still beating it, it seems, from this chart. Still just got to hurt. And that's what I see when I see like a T square and Chiron. Chiron, just gosh, it's not just a wound, it's a gaping wound because Pluto means 1,000 wounds. So keeping in mind that this could also be part of her psyche right now. She is dealing with 1,000 wounds. She's trying to move on. And how is she moving on? In October, she activates this blue line, several blue lines. And there we go. We've got a surprise pregnancy. Just happens to be on Algol. She is here in the 12th house this year. She is kind of hidden. She's pregnant now. And so she is able to tap into the Algol energy. Now, keeping in mind, Algol, I like to say this, especially when Heather's here, shows very beautiful and can show someone who is not to be messed with. And so that's the one thing. But there are squares here, and this could be an issue. And keeping in mind, this is her solar return chart. So you're going to have to go to Astro Seek, pull your birth chart, and then press on the solar chart year for the last birthday that you had, and then type in the solar tab because you only want these planets on the inside. This is the devil here. Like the devil gives success. This is success right here. And I say the devil because this is alcohol. So this is an angry devil succeeds. Now, not saying that necessarily that's Gisele, but this has to do with the head, losing one's head. I did a lot of studying with Elizabeth Taylor's chart. She doesn't drink, but it can also tap into people who have addictions. And maybe there's something that she's dealing with, maybe it's a friend or something there where with the square going to the seventh house, it can drive a partner to drink. I mean, I see it every time I see Algol and something with like a bad square. It's like you really want to take a drink or, even do drugs. Not Gisele, but it's just in the chart. It seems like everything went so fast with her and Tom. They broke up, they got divorced so fast. She had a boyfriend so fast. Now she's pregnant. I don't know. It doesn't seem to make sense. And by the way, this is her solar return chart for 2024 when she started her birthday in July. So this is the present solar return chart. The one before that, Jody, was the progressed one. Angel D, she obviously knew it would be shocking, so she just going with it like, yeah, I'm pregnant and I'm happy about it, in my opinion. I don't think he wants to right now. It doesn't look good in his chart at the moment. Looks like a big breakup or, he's just not in the right space, I don't think. But I did pull these two cards when I was like, tell me something about this show. And crazy how I got the Lovers. And then I said, can you clarify? Because obviously that's really, I think they started as lovers. And then I got the Magician reversed. I think all of this new tale is being woven in a kind of distorted way. So wild that this month, and you would count it because you would go with her first house, that would be July 20th, August 20th, September 20th, October 20th to November 20th. Now, we're not done yet. We haven't even gotten to November 20th. So Pluto is going to keep activating. There's going to be 1,000 wounds that are happening in this month. Not just this month, though. It's also going to be when Pluto is on the scene. And Pluto, what does Pluto mean? It means a pregnancy. But here's the problem. Pluto is retrograde. It's weak. And so this can be the case when, you're having a high risk pregnancy. Retrograde could just mean high risk. Crazy Aquarius. It's a shock pregnancy. So what's going to happen is it's going to be around Christmas time, December 20th to January 20th. Something comes in. This is going to be big news. I think there's going to be some news here. November. So November is the fifth house. Then December 20th to January 20th. So that'll be the new year. Possibly it could be a way to heal. Moon and Pluto is something very famous. And this could also be something where a magazine is coming out because you're talking about something very famous. This is something famous in her work. Now, keeping in mind that Algol is also beauty, so she might be doing something that is like takes her career to the stratosphere. Because of Uranus being so high, Algol showing extreme beauty. And it could show with Pluto here, like the beautiful pregnant woman, the beautiful Medusa, the pregnant Medusa. Is that wrong? I'm just trying to put these clues together. I don't know. Going along there is, it looks as if she's going to February 20th to March 20th, Uranus activates. That's super high again. This, I'll bet you, this has got to be the month that she's going to deliver, if all goes well. Uranus is going to square. This is going to bring up the feelings. I think this is Tom, because remember, this is Regulus. This is a hero. This is an athlete. Uranus really, actually Uranus could be Hakim, her lover. But this is a square to Tom Brady. So this delivers yet one more shock when she delivers the baby. And so that would be the seventh house. Oh my God. And this would mean the divorced mate, the shocked mate. That would be between February 20th to March 20th. Maybe a Pisces. Hey, why not? Little fishy. Kind of wild when you really start to get the hang of looking at your solar return chart. You can really see and kind of analyze what's going to be happening. But you can see that the couple months before, oh, you know what? When was that roast? I think that might have been that would have been before her birthday, I think. So that would have been before this chart. Maybe that had something to do with it. But also interesting that her rising sign here is Leo. So the princess, the queen, getting back to doing what she likes to do. She's in the sun. She's feeling on holiday. She's in Miami. She's going back and forth, traveling to her hometown. So Leo can mean a holiday. Always nice to have the ascendant in Leo. Unless Uranus is at the top there. Oh my God, I almost feel like somebody really should. Like, this is such shock anger, and it keeps hitting Tom. Like, it seems just like a nightmare. It just seems like an absolute nightmare. Just to look at, this was the year before they divorced. She was in Brazil with her sister for her birthday, so that could give you an idea of what's going on. But she was Jupiter, and that's because the rising sign is in Sag. So there we go, Jupiter. And what's it doing? It's in a T-square here with Black Moon Lilith, Mars and Sun at the top. And so what that tells me is we've got an athlete up here. It doesn't necessarily look like that's Tom, because Tom's over here. Mercury is the ruler of the 7th house, which would be Tom Brady. But we've got her in this T-square here with Black Moon Lilith. And she's also retrograde that year. She's not right. There's something that's wrong. Now, the 6th house is work. So it's definitely possible that it's exactly the way that she said. She kept getting blocked at work. And it seemed, because of Black Moon Lilith being evil, it seemed like it was almost in her face in a way, because whenever you have Leo in the mix, that's a bully. So there's a possibility, hard to believe again, it is Gisele. She's the top model. But it does look like somebody is bullying her, saying something that would make her, I guess, mindset more negative that year. And the other thing too is she was being bullied by fans. Venus rules the 11th house of social media. So I mean, these are angry fans, and they are tapping into that Black Moon Lilith energy as well. Nasty, nasty football fans. And she's like, whoa, I thought I was marrying this handsome, successful athlete. I didn't know I was going to have to go through this. And you saw a little bit of it in the Beckham Netflix movie, and how just nasty people can be. So there's a possibility that really was part of the equation for her in 2021. Keeping in mind, when you want to see your relationship and how it's going for that year, and this would have been July 2021 to July 2022, you're going to look at the wife, which would be, or it's Gisele. So this is Gisele's solar return chart. So we're looking at the chart ruler, Gisele, and then here's Tom, Lord of the 7th. Look at how there's this square here. They're not getting along that year. It is just, they're not even talking. It also makes me think Mercury is a little baby. And there's something here. Now, Jupiter also represents the husband too. I know that's kind of confusing, but Jupiter in a woman's chart, you can always look at Jupiter and kind of flip the script a little bit and say, okay, well, now let's see if it's Tom Brady, because Tom would be Jupiter. And there's a square to Mercury. So I don't know, just makes me think that there could have been a desire for a child that was blocked. Just a theory. Yes, hit the like button for me, and definitely leave a comment. You know what also helps is if there's anything that you like to share. The shares are really up lately, so I I think that's because the predictions come in, and that really helps the algorithm. Angel, when Val says, and Pluto means, I'm like, lots. Oh, pregnancy. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Well, yes, lots and lots. Intensity, I always am so intrigued with Uranus in any chart because if there is a trine, it always means the future of something. Sixth house is work. I mean, eighth house is revenge. But it really, what it does is it reflects more on Brady. He's going to be the future of something. I mean, this could be Bitcoin. I said that last night. And she might have, you know what? When was that whole thing with Sam Bankman? Because she might have tried to block him from doing that. And he didn't. When did Tom Brady partner with Sam Bankman? I mean, eighth house is investments, and they're both investing together, right? Whoa. Tom Brady and Sam Bankman-Fried Taurus began their partnership in 2021. Holy crap. Brady and his then wife Gisele signed a long-term partnership with FTX. Damn. Okay, well, here's what happened. Sam Bankman-Fried paid Brady and Bundchen $55 million and $20 million respectively for 20 hours of their time each year for 3 years. They were equity investors in FTX before the company went bankrupt. So they're among several celebrities. Brady said he's angry about the situation and doesn't want to be involved anymore. But I wonder if they had to return that money. Did Tom Brady return money from Sam Bankman? Yeah, I guess. And I think there was jokes about it. Yeah, he lost $30 million from that. Okay, so that'd be enough to be pretty upset with one's husband. That could be part of that Scorpio thing. But there we go. We've got Tom Brady in the investment house and making money initially in that year with Sam Bankman-Fried. But alas, it would not be the case. And, oh, check this out. You can see Tom here, and it's squaring Chiron. The fifth house is games, and maybe he got hurt that year too. I don't know. But definitely investment energy where he got hurt and was angry from that. Aries showing with a square is going to show something that somebody is angry about. I think Tom Brady was angry about a lot of things. And I think there could have been some anger issues too. So she was dealing with a lot. She was really dealing with a lot, no question in my mind. So there's Uranus, there's Tom, and there's Gisele. Okay. So here we go. This is next year's solar return. This is the one we really want to see. This is, she's had the baby. Now we are at, and I put this down as if she would have the child in Miami and she would be in Miami. The rising sign then would be Libra rising. So Venus is up here. Wow, is she in the news? Oh my God, look at Venus, her rising sign on the 9th house of the press. You can't be in the news any more than that. That is just worldwide coverage. And maybe she's speaking to the press because of Gemini showing that. There are a lot of people at the moment who have invested in these types of virtual coin who are stuck with it. Something is about to happen with all of that soon, allegedly. there's success here. She becomes the queen for something because of part of fortune, right on the Regulus, give or take. It is sextiling her. So there are a lot of people who are being very supportive of her on social media next year. Yet she's still angry because of these nodes. She's feeling stuck up there, and Mars is in the mix. This could have something to do with her job. North Node is right on the sixth house. Coworkers, maybe she wants to work, but she can't. Whatever issues that come in her business. But it looks pretty intense because we've got a T-square, which is the red triangle. It's almost like she's angry about something and she's saying something in the press. She's coming out. I don't know what she's angry about. What I would do in this case is I would put these two together, the vertex and her rising sign. The vertex is kind of like the point of the chart. What the point of what's the point? And for her, it's to be in the news and to communicate something. It's right in that end of Leo. Let's see where Tom is. Tom is always going to be the seventh house. That would be the person that's making her angry. This is this could be, oh boy. You know what I think of when I see this? I think of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Kind of like the constant battling through sources. And it's on the 12th house cusp, give or take. So it's sort of like sources, secrets coming out that are making her angry. So, Tom Brady, he might be upset the way that he gets even. It's going to make him feel better. So he has his sources come out and talk. So there is something of a battle with the press. When it comes to the child, let's look at the child, the new child. And so we've got the 9th house here. And so Mercury is going to be the child. Oh, squaring Saturn and Neptune. So, and it's on Leo on the 15th degree, which it figures that one of the worst degrees of the zodiac also represents astrology. It's going to be a little astrologer. But interesting how the baby is going to square Black Moon Lilith. So it will be interesting. There is going to be it seems like some concern about a child. And it's up there in the 10th house for everybody to see. So there are some good things. It shows that the child is loved by mama. There's her mother. And she's talking a lot about her mom. So whatever could be troubling, maybe some kind of oopsie, maybe they're trying to deliver at home and they've got to go to whatever it is. It's an interruption of some sort. Mom tries to make it better anyway. And maybe she's talking about her birthing experience because Mercury is to talk about the past. This is mom. And Mercury is also the child. So she's talking a lot. I keep getting Gemini. I wonder if she's pregnant with twins. Or it could be just it could be a baby that looks like her daughter or something, or looks like somebody else, one of her kids. I don't know. Is there going to be another woman entering the pic? Do you think, you mean like Tom Brady, or what do you mean by that, Dinah? Sprout, just stick with us. I'll try to remember to describe what I'm talking about, but you will get it. Trust me. You'll be like, okay, you're going to look at, this one, and this is Saturn, and you're going to look at Neptune, and then you're going to notice, wow, they're both in retrograde. That's interesting. That means they're both weak. And then, so what we do is we kind of, we add it to the next symbols, and that's how we create a profile of what's going on. So you kind of, one thing that would be really good to know going into something like this is knowing the lords of everything. That's gonna help a lot, because you're gonna be able to trace back what's what and who's who. As an example, we'd want to see who's Saturn in her chart for 2025. Saturn represents often a father. So her father, I don't know if her father is still with us, but there does seem, this can be a father figure is sick, because the sixth house can show sickness, and so can Neptune. So you can see that there. And when you're looking at planets, you want to look at the red lines, because that's going to show the bad side of the sign, and you're going to look at the blue lines to show the good side of it. So her sun, I got to say, see, this is probably the most fundamental thing you can look at when it comes to a chart. The sun. She's so famous, not like she could get any more famous. And she's talking about something here. She's talking about the past. But yet, she is in a T-square here with Chiron and Pluto. Whatever is, I look at something like this and I think to myself, we have this energy that encompasses us sometimes. And I'm pretty sure, because yesterday we were talking about the wedding chart and how Saturn is going over their wedding chart moon. It's in Sadi. And what happens after Saturn clears the moon is you forgive. You go back to yourself again. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think that there's going to be forgiveness on both sides here. But it's going to be maybe about 5 years. This is a woman who is very wounded here by her mate. So, that's as much as I'm going to go into, because otherwise people are like, wait, what? What mate? I know. And I said yesterday, I had forgotten she had a twin. So I was like, this is a sister that looks just like her. And everybody's like, duh, she's got a twin. So thanks, Angel D. Yes, definitely check out, oh, Penny's here. Where's Penny? Hey, Penny. And Cav is here. You're sensing twins too? Ugh. I mean, I'm excited. I'm always happy about little babies, but when it involves a lot of wounds like this, you want healing, you don't want wounds. So you wonder how that's all working out. I don't know. Thanks, Angel D. Heather, you are always laughing about something, and I have to figure out what you're laughing at. What is going on with her current man? Well, he's got a beard. That's all I really have said right now. But let's look at Hakeem. Let's look at Hakeem. I'm just afraid I'm going to get in trouble, so I don't want to say too much, but let's see. All right, so her man, I mean, let's say her new man is Aries. And so we're going to look at Mars. And it seems like, I mean, this means stuck. She's Venus. It does not look. Now, whatever's going on, right? He's supportive of her career. This is her career. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know. I think that with Chiron in the 7th house, Chiron meaning wounds, in the 7th house of mate, it seems like he's getting beaten up about something. Maybe he's here. He's in Mercury. He's in Virgo. It doesn't look like they're getting along. And I'm looking, the way you would see that is you have to identify who's Gisele. She's here. She's a twin. Okay. And then you've got Hakeem here. And then you've got a square. Now, this could be that he doesn't like her talking in the press. And every time something maybe comes out in the press or talks about in the press, he just gets angry about it. That's a possibility. I mean, there are some good things for him. You can see this trine here, or this sextile. Right here, and then down to here. So, I don't like it it looks stressful. It looks stressful. That's all I'm going to say. Of course, Sprout. Cab, you said she deserves happiness, whatever happens. I'm happy to catch your live, Val. Happy Halloween Eve. I know. Happy Halloween Eve. I know, because it's not, you start to forgive I don't know about forget. We Scorpios don't forget. We moons in Scorpio. But you do understand that there is some kind of energy that creates these scenarios, and we have to go through them and experience whether malefic or benefic. So, yeah. Okay. Is the boyfriend sticking around? I think yes. I don't think he has a choice. But it does seem like he wants to be in the 12th house. He wants to be a secret, but he's coming out. He's in the 11th house, and his picture is everywhere, and it's not something that he wants. I think that's what the trouble is. And you know what? That reminds me of, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, where they have trouble every time something hits the 9th house, which is like 10 times a day, right? 10 major headlines a day. So, it's kind of a Markle, Prince Harry type of thing. For 2025 for her. Let's do some cards here. And then I'm going to come on in a little while. We'll talk about Trump and the election. I'm going to talk to you about some signs. But let's talk about Gisele and Hakeem. How are they going to do in 2025? I know which cards I'd like to see. Something that's really happy. What's in the cards for Gisele and Hakeem? Oh, woo! All right, then. We've got King of Wands. You know what? We got King of Wands for Hakeem before, and 5 of Wands. So it looks like chaos. So Hakeem is in chaos because I don't think, she wants to give him a child, but she can't. Potentially, it might be frustrating for her because she wants to give him peace, but with everything going crazy online and in the press, that's not going to be the case. Hey, Amber, nice to see you. Scott, we can always guarantee a crazy joke from Scott. Okay. I know. Duh. She's got a twin. It's a fraternal twin, though. That's why I forgot, because they don't look exactly alike. Could have been some jealousy there, too, when, when your sister becomes a supermodel and you don't. But I'm sure they've buried the hatchet. I think they're very close, actually. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, so we were talking about Tom's birth chart and oh, did I put his? By the way, this is how you pull your solar return chart. You go to AstroSeek and you are going to click on the solar return for your last birthday, like I said, and then that's the tab you're going to click. Okay, so Jesus. Yeah, that's right. This is the month where he found out. I mean, just a couple of days. So August, September, October. This is when he was shocked. So, and if it's not with a red line attached to it, like this, then it's okay. It's a nice surprise usually. But this is just an absolute, it's almost like it feels bullying in a sense because we've got, interesting how she's the queen here in his chart, in his solar return chart. So weird. Oh, this is why I thought it might be twins, because last night when I was talking, Venus is next to Mercury. So she might be, let's see, this would be August, September, October, November, December, January, February. February, she has twins. Yikes. That's like a double dose of revenge. I mean, pregnancy can be used as revenge. It's Scorpio. Scorpio is pregnancy. Scorpio is, all of those things. Oh, God. What are we going to do? Angel D. Yes, we've got Crystal in the room. Hey, Steph. He's not too bright to get involved with a famous person and not expect to be in the spotlight. I know. I just got the best gift from Buckeye Clay Fan. It is a beautiful quilt. I'm going to show it to you next time I'm on. But it's a Halloween quilt with crowns on it. Like, it's just perfect. I am so excited to use it. So thank you so much, Buckeye Clay Fan. And let me see. Do I have anything else? Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to pull some more cards. Ooh. Check my audio. Okay. So what should I pull here? I wonder if you didn't want a public announcement. Yes. All right. So will Gisele have twins? How about that? Ooh. Oh, damn. 10 of Pentacles. So could that be a yes? She's going to have 10. No, 10 of Pentacles is wealth. So can we get a clarifier card? I was talking to Natalie the other day. She's like, sometimes I just want to tell you, get a clarifier card. So I'm tuning into you, Natalie. I don't think Natalie's on. She's studying. She's studying for the bar. Okay, can I get a clarifier? Oh, Angel D, the Bitcoin. Can I get a clarifier here? 5 of Swords. Oh, man. Yikes. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. 5 of Swords. Oh, it's going to be a big headache. I'll say that. Okay. So definitely hit the thumbs up if you like this show. Hopefully you can join me on Friday with Amber. We're doing more predictions, 4:30 Eastern. And I'm going to be on in about another 45 minutes to an hour. I just got to get the charts ready. And we're going to talk about the election. And I'm going to tell you all my thoughts about what is to come. Everybody's going nuts right now. It's crazy. Okay, thanks, Shauna. I know. The cards are flying at me. Yeah, exactly. All right. So hopefully look for the announcement. I'm going to come back on. I'm going to be half asleep, but I'll grab some tea and come back on and we'll talk about what's really going to happen on the election. See you soon, Natalie. And so many omens, so many signs to look at. And the energy is pretty crazy. But there was something. What kind of freaked me out was that Kamala is a dragon this year in the dragon year. Yikes. Like, that's not that great. And he's a dog, which is for a Chinese sign. So he is stronger from the Chinese perspective. But I think that's where it stops. So, okay. I know. It's pretty crazy. You're going to love it. I know. I think we all are, but I don't think we have to be. The only thing we have to be worried about is fraud. So, what is really true, right? All right, see you guys soon. Thanks a lot for joining me tonight.